Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on Little Slot YouTube channel. So today in this video, we will see about one of the myth about the performance testing process, like how does it work. So this I can tell you that this is what the expectation, or this is what most of the people who have lesser idea on how performance testing works, and we will see what actually performance testing is, how does it work, and how does, or what are the activities that a performance tester does. So first we will take a look at what others think about performance testing work. So this others involves anybody who has a very shallow knowledge on how performance testing works, or I would say in other words that a myth about how performance testing works. So most of the people think that performance testing is a lengthy phase that occurs at the end of the development cycle. So once the development cycle is completed, the code is given to the performance, the code or the application is given to the performance engineer, and they will do a lot of load testing, this and that. And at the end, they will say that everything is good. The performance testing, the results are good and the application is good. Is that how the performance testing works? So let me show you how does the performance testing works. So in this slide, you can see the whole cycle of how does it works. So in the development phase, the development team designs and develops the system or the application, and the performance objectives and the requirements are defined in collaboration with the development team. So at the very first phase, so it's not just the performance testers are involved after the development phase or after the application is developed. It's the part where the performance testers are involved right from the development phase, and this is the actual reality. And in fact, this helps the developers or the product owners to see a better application with a better performance. And next, when it comes to the performance test planning, so the performance engineering team creates a performance test plan, and the development team now will provide any inputs on the workload scenarios and the system configurations, because we have lot of configuration that has to be set up, and that can be taken with the help of the development team, because they will give a lot of inputs on the workload scenarios and the system configurations. And then the third step is the test environment setup and the baseline. So during the test environment setup, the performance engineering team sets up the test environment, they simulate the production conditions. And even during this time, during this test environment setup, the development team here will assist in configuring the system components for testing. And again, during the baselining, so the baselining is a very critical and very important step that the performance engineering team conducts the initial test to establish the performance baselines. And the development team, again, they will monitor and provide any insights on the system behavior during testing. So this is all the time a part of the development. So performance testing is never an isolated part. It's always a part of the system lifecycle, the development lifecycle, and even the testing lifecycle. And then when it comes to the performance analysis, so during this phase, the performance engineering team analyzes the test results and identifies the performance bottlenecks. And any findings or any observations will be shared with the development team for any review and understanding. And then here during this performance, so here you can see the performance testing, so which is actually the performance testing iteration, where the performance engineering team conducts subsequent performance tests after each optimized iteration. So after any optimization happens, so the performance testing team will do a set of tests, and the development team will watch closely for any impact of the optimization on the system performance. And in fact, during the performance testing phase here, these are the shorter life cycles. So it's not just the performance tester does the performance testing and then gives the result to the development phase and it's over. It's not like that. So what happens here is, once the performance testing is done, so next thing is the feedback and tuning suggestions will happen, where the performance engineering team provides feedbacks to the development team regarding the performance improvements achieved and any tuning suggestions. For example, so when we do a test, and if there are any code optimizations that are required or any configuration changes, it comes to the load configuration change or the gateway or the front door or anything that involves in the configuration change. So they are shared with the development team, and then those suggestions, so they will be implemented by the development team. So based on the tuning suggestions that are provided by the performance engineering team, and the performance engineering team may offer guidance and support during the implementation phase. So that's after the feedback suggestion. So once the feedback is given, so then it goes to the implementation, and once the implementation is done, and the next thing is the next phase where the validation and monitoring will happen. So the performance engineering team validates the impact of tuning on system performance through the testing. So the performance engineering team will validate on how well the tuning has been done, and the development team again will monitor the system in production and reports any performance issues. And then when it comes to the collaboration and continuous improvement during the small life cycle during the performance testing, so during this collaboration and continuous improvement, so the development team and performance engineering team collaborate to address any remaining performance issues. So if there are anything that is remaining or that is pending, so both the teams, both the performance engineering team and the development team will work together to continuously improve the system's performance based on the real world usage data. And then next comes the testing iterations. So we will do testing iterations back to back to tune the application. So it does not end with a single test or a single set of tests. So it goes on iterating, and once at the end, so once you feel, or once the development team and the product team agrees that we have reached the benchmark, and only then it goes back to the development phase telling that everything is good and we can move the application to production. So this is the actual. So the one that you see here is what others know or what others think, or I would say the reality, but this is actually the expectation. So this is how it should work. So with that, I come to an end. I believe this video would have been very, very, very useful to you. So please don't forget to subscribe to Littles Law YouTube channel. So until I meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Littles Law.